Good afternoon, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is your closing bell for Friday, April 15th, 2022. Quick shout out to my sister. Happy birthday, Kimberly. Happy Good Friday to all as it's Easter weekend, and yes, the weekend is here. Action-packed weekend, couple day baseball games going on as we speak. Scotty has talked at length about the Arizona batting woes, and they continued. And the Mets put up a touchdown and a field goal, now lead 10-1, top of the ninth. And in Boston, my Red Sox home opener, 6-1, they're trailing top of the seventh. I had asked Scotty on our Discord channel. That kind of smelled to me. That number smelled real low. And wagertalk.com/free odds actually said that Minnesota opened minus 115. I never saw that anywhere. I saw maybe the Sox 105. I got it pushed in the morning to 110, 115. I never saw that anywhere. And I follow a lot of places. But it is what it is. That's why each website, each place that you do follow, it's kind of a give and take, and you can feel it in your gut. What smells, what doesn't smell. We use a checks and balance system here at ECSI. So that's why we have multiple sites that we follow. First show of the day, I had up and back from Cape Cod to Yukon Stores, Connecticut, and my daughter's home safely. We're back here in action. Did a lot of work, multitasked on the road, 2.5 up, 2.5 back there. So I have a lot of questions to ask Scotty as we get rolling here, and to try to dissect the board. It's Friday, it's payday. And I always talk about Feed the Public Friday, as most people get paid today and they run to the window trying to double their paycheck, or, pay their light bill, their cable bill, their Wi-Fi bill, their cell phone bill, whatever it is. So when in doubt, if they haven't done the homework, they'll run and do the favorites in the over, and we'll get into that as well. House cleaning yesterday, the opposite of the day before, kind of, sort of. It's nice to win that first game, and that's what we did. We did have the Brewers first 5 minus the hook, and we cashed that one. And now you sit back at night, and you just hope at worst for a split. And I got to tell you, neither. Yes, the Angels jumped out to a 2-0 lead, and Shohei kind of got lit up after that, and Dunning pitched well, and the Rangers cashed the first five there. And secondly, when I looked at this overnight, I really liked the fact that Freeland and the Rockies home opener were minus 145. The actual opening line showed around 118, 115, 112. Got pushed as the day progressed. But what I didn't like as the day progressed, it seemed like it was a public favorite, and that usually doesn't end well. As the Cubs score three in the first, and then Freeland settled down, he kind of got out of a few jams, but the Rockies scored two in the fifth and leave the bases loaded. So it's 3-2 going to the top of the sixth. And I asked Scotty this as well. Why were you leaving this guy hanging out to dry? Get someone else in there. Get a fresh arm in there. Instead, they bring him back out. A couple guys get on. The Cubs score three, and that's your final 5-2, 5-3, maybe. It is what it is. So it's a new day as we try to tack the two play-in games. Kind of interesting. We were just talking again on our Discord channel. Clippers overnight open up at 4, and now a pick. -1 at South Point, -1 at DraftKings, -1 at Caesars. That's New Orleans because Paul George is out. So just be careful there. As anyone that is on that Discord channel saw me and Mr. Lucky. Thank you, Mr. Lucky. Welcome back. Aloha. Tiny Bubbles, as he spent some time in Hawaii. Boy, was I jealous. But let's bring Scott on, who's been busting his ass on that Discord channel, and we can't thank him enough. Let him bring him in. The one, the only, Mr. Scott E. Webb. Afternoon, Scott.
Hey, Jeff. Welcome back on your rendezvous up and rendezvous back. You got your coffee. You're all ready to go. I spent a couple hours at the pool.
I was fortunate I left when I did, because on the way back, looking at the people traveling where I just came from, and the traffic was really, really picking up. Again, kind of a long weekend, no school, holiday on Monday, marathon Monday for the Red Sox. So we'll have the Boston Marathon, and we'll have the Red Sox playing early that day. So there'll be some morning baseball. But overall, trying to play catch up in regards, didn't lose a day or nothing. It's not like coming back from 15 days or nights from Vegas and trying to catch up, West Coast, East Coast, East Coast, West Coast. So we're ready. We're exactly 8 days now into baseball. A full week has been completed. Excuse me there. Thoughts, kind of stuff you didn't expect, stuff you did expect. What are your eyes seeing?
I guess some of the stuff's a little surprising to a certain degree, and some of it isn't. I will tell you this: I did not expect the Cleveland Guardians to be the number one offense in all of baseball. That I did not expect. I expected them to be as bad as Arizona. So that kind of tells you a little bit about their team a little bit. They got a couple of little kids out there, that Kwan kid, and he's doing good. And that first baseman, I forget what his name is right off the top of my head, but that kid's been playing well too. And doesn't hurt to have Jose Ramirez on that team. I think he's got 3 home runs already. So listen, they got pitching. So I'm not telling you they're a division winner. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying they're gonna cash our over on that contest. I'm telling you. So I'm excited about that. Of course, you do that, and then tomorrow Jose Ramirez falls down, he breaks his leg, and he can't play for another week or for the rest of the year. So I'm interested to see a little bit about what happens in San Diego. They're playing pretty well. I mean, they're winning, and I think they're a really good team. And Clevenger got a report that he pitched very well in his rehab outing. I think he threw 2 innings or something like that, struck out 5 guys. That ain't too bad when you only can strike out 6. So that's not too bad. And he's getting ready to come back on, and it'll be interesting to see tonight. So I bring that game up just for a slight second, because I don't know how many people are familiar with the prospects, but Mackenzie Gore pitches tonight. And if you haven't ever seen Mackenzie Gore, or if you've never heard of Mackenzie Gore is a left-handed 100-mile-an-hour pitcher. How many of those you ever seen?
Randy Johnson.
There you go. So, I mean, there's not very many. So he's throwing tonight against the Braves, who have been struggling a little bit. Now, they're 500, so that doesn't mean they're struggling. But, I mean, they just didn't. It's just like last year. I mean, the middle of the season they put it on, and that's when they ran off with everything. Is the middle of the year. Listen, they get Acuna back. That's still a good team. So I'm not discrediting what the Braves are doing. So I'm interested to see how the Padres do without Tatis, because when they get Tatis back, that's a hell of a lineup. I think they're one player short, and he's not just one player; he's an MVP player. So I think that's going to be a special thing. And the thing that's surprising me the most is the Mets are winning, and they're winning. Now, you and I talked. I don't know if we said it on here or not, but one of the statements that I said was one of the biggest moves that they made was Chris Bassett. That guy is going to win goddamn games. He's going to win. He's going to win. And he's going to win. And
I got some futures.
And the statement that I said was he's going to. And I asked you. I said, can we get a sports book to take a number on this? I think Chris Bassett wins more games. He wins more games than Max Scherzer does. And that's because of the hole he pitches out of. I mean, of course, at the time, I thought he was pitching out of the 3-hole, and now he's pitching out of the 2-hole because DeGrom went down. But his matchups are going to be great, and he's a great pitcher. And, of course, they're playing the D-backs. What the hell does that tell you? I mean, they got 3 hits again today. So that keeps that streak going for tomorrow. I got to play already. I just got to figure out how to work it.
And it's comical because, again, you look at this stuff, you follow this stuff. Mike Francesa, myself, I picked it up obviously from him 30 years ago. If you were not invited to the wedding, we are not expected to go to the funeral. And the first 5 against Arizona, we were on it the last 2 days of the weekend. We cash. We take a pause on that first game against Astros. It smelled to me. It really did. And they sneak out at 1-0. We go back to a day 2 and lose. And then, of course, here come the Mets, and it was a perfect setup. I don't know what the actual number was.
Too high to play at first 5 today, so I played it run line the full way.
Okay.
My number was where's my sheet? My number today, I played at 114. Bassett minus 1.5, 114. The first 5, Jeff, was 155.
Yeah, which is a telltale story that they knew something was up there. And people ask us about edges, and if you are handicapping and breaking down the game on the starting pitching, well, that was clear as day. Vegas is telling you with a number like -0.5, minus 155, that they're expecting big things from Bassett and not so big things from Davies, and they got exactly what they expected. So the numbers don't lie. Now listen, yesterday, I want to go back to the VIPs for a second. And the fact that we went 1 and 2 in the day, we lost 1.14 unit. And why did we only lose that little? Because we played that minus the halves plus 100 on the 2 losses. If you jumped into the money lines, minus 140, minus 150, now you're talking, you're going to lose 2.9 there. So you win 1 unit. So you're losing almost 2 full units. So sometimes a loss, hey, wrong side, period, end of discussion. But it was at plus 100 minus the half run. I'm okay with that. I'm not okay if I play a minus 150 money line and we lose 10-2 in the first 5, or we lose, 3-2 in the first 5. The Colorado was a full game anyways, but you guys are catching my point. Those 30s, 40s, and 50 cents, they add up at the end of the week. And what they do is they add stress to the brain if you're playing those on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You wake up today, it's Friday. You look at your record and let's just say you're 5-5, but you're minus 3 units because of that juice. Now you start to say, well, I really like this, but the price is, not where you can, here's what I say, Scotty, and we've said this a million times, make it a million times plus one. If you play 3 150s and go 3-0, God bless you. But you risked 450. We're saying $100 is a unit play. You risk 450 to win that 300. If you go 2-1 on 3 minus 150s, your net is $50. Now do the 1 and 2 and the 0 and 3s. So bankroll management is a big part of this, especially in baseball, Scott, where money lines come into play.
Well, this sport above all of them, is the most creative to have to figure out how to get in the game and how to manage your bankroll. So this sport above all sports in betting is the most challenging, and all you're doing is picking the goddamn winner. So it's not like football where you got to go in and go, oh, they're going to cover a touchdown or not? Or is this a key number or not? Is this what is this a letdown spot, or all the other stuff that goes into football? Baseball is about just what you said. It's money line betting, and because typically it's money line betting, you've got to be aggressive enough, yet cautious enough. I shouldn't say it that way. You've got to be aggressive enough and put guardrails on your aggression so that you don't go broke. Because just like what you said, if you're betting $150 a game every single game, you're going to go broke. I guarantee you're going to go broke. It's going to happen because you're going to lose 10 straight games once. Don't think I'm lying, because it's going to happen. You're going to lose 10 straight $150 bets, because it does. And I know people think I'm drunk when I said it. You might lose 15 straight games. It happens. That's the way baseball works. You could be in one of those things where you got the right side in this whole damn game, and then all of a sudden this happens and that happens. And I remember a damn game. You're ahead by 1. They put in the closer. Well, shit, it just about happened last night with the Yankees. But anyway, you put in a closer. The closer walks the first guy. Well, guess what? The new rules are you can't take him out until 3 batters. So you're ahead by 1. Guess what he does? He walks the bases loaded. And then you sit there and go, holy shit, my closer just walked the bases loaded. I got to go get him. So then you bring in your next guy, and the next guy hits the guy because he's like all flustered. He hits the next batter, scores the run. It's a tie game. And then he throws a goddamn wild pitch to the next batter, and they score that way. No hits, and you lose the damn game. That's the way baseball works.
Scott, what was the year that Seattle broke the record for wins? With Randy Johnson, with Ken Griffey, their magical year.
That
98.
I thought it was like 2000. I don't know. Let me I'll get it real quick.
Because I got to tell a story to end all war stories. Listen, there's nothing we haven't lived through. There's nothing we haven't seen. There's nothing we haven't heard. I have the all-time classic.
2001.
2001, Sunday Night Baseball.
116 games.
2001, Sunday Night Baseball. Seattle travels to Cleveland. Okay, this was still before your cell phones, I think, your internet, and Sunday Night Baseball was a big thing. It was on ESPN. Everyone
Joe Morgan.
watched it. Joe Morgan, correct. So it's 2001. Last day of the week. I'm young, wet, still behind the ears. The last game you could wager on, and so I had a boatload on this game. And I think the Mariners were like minus 125 or something. And please Google this, because I guarantee you're going to laugh you know what's up. Seattle was winning 14-1 in the bottom of the 7th against Cleveland. 14-1 in the bottom of the 7th, and lost 15-14 in 9 innings. I repeat, this is the Seattle Mariners who won 116 games that year. They were leading 14-1. Start of the bottom of the seventh. Cleveland wins the game 15-14. And that was in 2001. And now it's 2022. So that was 21 years ago. And I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning. But you remember those games. You don't remember those ones you got lucky and win, but you remember those bad beats. I'll never forget it.
Those are hard to forget. I mean, what are you supposed to say? I mean, that one is a tough one there because, holy shit.
And it's not a football. It's not a touchdown and another touchdown with an onside kick. This is baseball.
That's like Reich up in Buffalo.
So let's give the people what they want. Let me get to the board. It's a nice board today. It's a tough board, and I have some questions for you, but the stage is yours. I want you to allow everyone to get on board. And you know what? I haven't done us. There we go. I wasn't doing us justice there. Let's bring this up. Here you go, Scott.
Well, I'm going to tell you about a game that I didn't put out anywhere. So here you go. I've always said, and I'm going to tell you again, don't be afraid to go back to the horse that you took in yesterday and you were a day too early. Yesterday we were on the same play. We both lost, and we lost on Shotani yesterday. So today you get Detmers on the mound, and he's going to face Bush, right? Does anybody know who Bush is? Does anybody know what he's a relief pitcher. So this is a bullpen game for Texas. How good's their bullpen, Jeff? It ain't very damn good.
Not good.
It's not good. So the numbers that I have say the Angels minus 134. That's my line. The number I'm looking at is the Angels minus 110. Give me the Angels minus the 110. Back to back, I'll go up there. I'll take the Angels lineup, and I'll take that lineup against. And I get it. Texas can hit, but I'm going to take Detmers against them. One of the things that I like too about that game, you pull it up. One of the things that I liked about that game is Reed Detmers. He is basically in. I don't know if you want to call it his sophomore season or not, because I don't think he had an innings qualifier last year. So I think this is what his rookie season. He is never pitched against this team. So guess what that means? That means that it's going to take him a little bit to figure that out. And if I'm betting against the bullpen, I'm going to play it a full game because they get the bullpen the whole time through. And Matt Bush, by the way, he is a guy that is I'm trying to remember. He's 36 years old. It's not like he's some young whippersnapper going out there. So he's not going to be a guy that goes out there and throws 85 million miles an hour and shuts down the Angels for a couple innings. He's a guy that's going to go out there and he's going to get hit. It's one of those things that I think that puts in a spot here where sure he might be able to get through for a little bit, this and that, but and then you can put in any damn Texas pitcher after that, and I think the Angels have the edge here. So I'm going to go back to the same well here, and don't be afraid to do that. We talk about that all the time. Okay, we took the Angels yesterday. Well, goddamn it, take them again today because today's the better day than it was yesterday. Although I will tell you this, I learned something in our Discord channel yesterday. We had a question that one of our guys asked for, and he wanted the splits for the Shohei Ohtani. Basically his career splits, home and away. So I said, okay, I'll go get them. So as I went and pulled those up, what I found that was really the most interesting thing here. Shohei Ohtani at home, he's thrown 19 times. He's thrown 106 innings, allowed 72 hits, really good. 133 strikeouts in those 106 innings. Earned run average is 2.2. That's what you know Shohei Ohtani to be. Well, what I didn't really know was he's thrown 16 away games. His innings pitched are 76.2 innings, gave up 67 hits, and he gave up, he got 89 strikeouts. His earned run average is 5.43 on the road, Jeff. And those are some of the things I think that's invaluable about what this Discord channel does is I wouldn't even know when to look for that if somebody hadn't asked me to go do it. But now that you know it, here you go. This is inside information that we have that most people don't. So anyway, I like the Angels in this game. It was a game that wasn't lined last night because there was no listed pitcher because they didn't know who they were going to start. And it turns out they're going to put Bush in the game. And I kind of like the idea here that you should go back with the Angels. So that's one that I didn't put out anywhere. So that's one there. And the games that I played well, I played that game, but I mean, I didn't put it anywhere. The other game that I played was Tampa Bay going to the White Sox today. And you know how I feel about Dylan Cease. I think Dylan Cease is a Cy Young candidate kind of pitcher. And he's dynamite. And he hasn't really faced the Rays either. The Rays have only seen, I think, 12 at-bats total against him, something like that. And Rasmussen is pitching for the Rays. And where's my notes? Because I got a really good number on that. The interesting thing about that specific game is that in all the starts that Rasmussen has made, and most of the time before he came to the Rays, he was a Brewers guy and he was a relief pitcher for the Brewers. And, he does that opening role and shit for the Rays, but they've stretched him out a little bit. He only goes 4 or 5 innings. I only want him to go 4 or 5 innings because that's how I bet it. But in the games that he has pitched, he has started 10 times last year and 1 time this year. So 11 times total for the Rays. Guess how many times he's allowed more than 2 runs?
1.
0. Never. He's never allowed more than 2 runs in any of those 11 starts. None. And he's going to have Dylan Cease as his opponent today. So I took first 5 under 4.5 minus 120. Now I know the 4.5 might not be available anymore. It's 4, but go ahead and play it at 4 anyway. My point being is I like the idea here that you're going to have Rasmussen on the mound. They've never seen Rasmussen. He might be able to get through the lineup. I don't know, in the 4th inning. We might have to struggle for 1 inning to see if we can get through this without having to go over the number. So I like it. So I played that game, and the last game I played, Jeff, was based off of matchups. So the Cincinnati Reds thought they were really special yesterday. They go out to the Dodgers and they go, we got San Martin who's pitching today, and he didn't look good his first time. So we're gonna put an opener out there for him, and let him then pitch after the opener. So they down the road signed Luis Cessa, who was he was a Yankee. So he's the opener yesterday. Gives up 3 runs in the first inning. So a nice opener. They need to call the Rays and figure out how to do opener strategy. Anyway, San Martin comes in, pitches 5 innings, doesn't give up nothing. So after about 6 or 7 innings, the game's really 3-0 the whole way through. Then I think it becomes 3-1 at some point, and then the Dodgers pile on 6 runs, 7 runs, whatever it was, in the back end of that bullpen. So today, it's a different story. What's his name? It's like Vladimir or something like that. Some weird name. Gutierrez is pitching for the Reds, and he's like Vladimir Gutierrez or some shit. I always think he's like this Russian guy, but he's not. Anyway, this guy is the worst pitcher that I think is the worst starting pitcher going right now. His projection is 0 WAR for the season. That's the projection. Now, WAR is wins above replacement, and a WAR total. You're talking about WAR is a AAA call-up player. That's where they are. So he's equal to a AAA call-up player who's going to play against the Dodgers today. And he throws a fastball that's not very good. And the Dodgers are number 12 in baseball currently. This is their current offense, not last year's offense. This current offense. They are number 12 in baseball against the fastball. And the pitch that he likes to get people out with is the changeup. Well, the Dodgers are number 1 in all of baseball against the changeup. So I don't think this is going to be pretty for the Reds today. So I went ahead. I played the Dodgers -1.5 on the run line. Same theory that I used against the Mets. Well, sort of. I'm just beating the shit out of Arizona. But it's the same idea. -124 today. I paid on the run line for the Dodgers. Now I did throw in there when I wrote this up. Hey, listen, this is cautionary stuff. You don't want to go out there and do this unless you're specifically doing something specific, because these are home teams on the run line, and you're a lot of times giving up your 9th at bat. So you got to be careful how you play them. But there's strategy for me involved in both of these plays, which is why I went and played them this way.
In the NBA today, I talked about it on our Discord channel, and anyone listening to our show regularly, you're going to start to hear a lot of us talking about this Discord channel. It's there because I do 1, 2, sometimes 3 shows a day. I don't have a lot of time to get into that Discord channel. As we get into a regular flow here, our goal is, or my goal actually is after the closing bell, after I have sent out the VIPs alert to their cell phone and email, is I might be able to, and Scott, and we'll figure this out, do some Q&As maybe around 6:30 up until first pitch. So some questions that you guys might have, some leans that you might have that we might either say yay, nay, or we pass, and it's up to you there. So I have talked about this before we came on today. The New Orleans and the Clippers, rotation number 511, 512, a game overnight that the Clippers opened up as 4-point favorites. If you woke up this morning, you saw it a pick. Now, in 3 spots, New Orleans is favored by 1, and that's because Paul George is out. I guess COVID protocol. I don't know what it is, but I didn't think that they were testing these guys for the playoffs for COVID. So it's something. But it's Friday. It's Fade the Public Friday. It's payday, however you want to look at it. And I always talk about CLV and EV. So with that being said, I still lean the Clippers. If you can get them +1 right now, I think the Clippers will find a way to win by 5. Maybe it lands on 4, but I definitely lean the Clippers still. They've played a million games, as Scotty pointed out, without Paul George, or as Mr. Lucky talked about it. I am not afraid. I know the whole world is on New Orleans. The whole world's on New Orleans. So I lean Clippers. If you can get them +1, fine. If you want to grab them on the money line, +1, I don't know, probably around +110, do that as well. The other game, just for my eyes, overnight and this morning, I saw Atlanta 1.5-point favorite. The public remembers what they saw last, and that was Atlanta winning by 30. I think Cleveland finds a way. If they don't win, maybe they lose by 1. I don't know. It's up to 2. You might even be able to get 2.5 by tip-off. I lean the home dog there. Again, I thought that number smelt a little to me. If Atlanta was 3.5, maybe I'd respect them more. Again, though, they are road favorites. So, Trae Young does a lot for that number. When he's on like he was the other day, and the other guys they hit and forget about it. I mean, you're not going to beat them. So, again, more of a lean to Cleveland, but I really think the Clippers find a way in the NBA.
So that Clipper game, Jeff, I looked at it this way. My number was 7.5 this morning before I knew Paul George was going to be out. Okay, so now I sit here and I look at it and go, so they were 7.5 with Paul George. You take Paul George out, do they really lose 7.5 points? And you're telling me I can get another one? I think this is a slam dunk you bet on the Clippers.
I agree there. MLB, I looked at this board last night. I looked at it this morning. I looked at it on 495 on the Mass Pike on 84, back and forth all the way home and to Yukon. A couple things stuck out to me. Scotty talked about going back to the well. I know Marcus Stroman is a lightning rod. I do. Yet it's the same model as it was the day before. Overnight, Colorado minus 135. Now they're 116. I think the world is back on the Cubs and Stroman. I'm not afraid to put my toes back in with Colorado and Marquez tonight. That's number one. Um, I think if you dig deep and peel the onion back, I think it's a little too easy, meaning before the game started. It's almost like a tease. You know, a tease is great in football until the opening kickoff. Yet you can get Montgomery versus Lyles minus a half run first five, minus 130, which again, 30 cents is like 30, 33, 35. After that, it gets sketchy. And I know I play 140s. I know I play 145s. And yes, I do play 150s. I just try to stay away from them as much as possible. But that one caught my eye. Scotty with Cease. 135 is a number. I think people are going to start to fade your Rays, Scotty. I actually think the value here is on Rasmussen plus the 119. I'd be interested to see how that game plays out. I agree with you with Detmers, but this Texas team, we talked about it on the Discord. We talked about it behind the scenes here. This Texas team is raking right now. And so, you know, these teams that aren't supposed to do well, you know, magically come out of the gate and, you know, and all of a sudden they start winning and they start believing. And I'm going to go to the next game, and I'm going to say this, Scotty. Rondon was lights out, 13 strikeouts, opening day. Minus 160 to a team that scored 47 runs the last 4 games. But the 160 is a statement in my eyes. So, yes.
Remember where they got him from.
Rondon from the White Sox.
What division do they play in?
So you're saying that he mows down Cleveland?
What I'm saying is that they've seen him a million times.
So why is he minus 160?
Well, my number was where is my number on that game? San Francisco. Yeah, my number is only 143. And I think he pitched a really great game the last time out. I'm not saying he can't pitch the great games again. And I'm looking up his numbers right this second. He pitched 3 times against Cleveland last year, which was 20 innings, only 12 hits, but 7 runs. One of the games he got bombed. The other two games he pitched great. He pitched a no-hitter against Cleveland last year. That was the one that really stood out. And he's got that's 25 strikeouts in whatever number of innings I told you it was, 20 innings or something like that, 24. But it's not like Cleveland's not going to have seen him, and that's an edge on the Cleveland batting side. Now I will say this: they got a bunch of young guys, and I don't know if them young guys have seen him or not. Let me look at something else in a different spot, and I can tell you that a little bit more clearly. But I always worry about that specific thing, meaning that here we have a team such as the Giants, and the Giants go out and get this big free agent contract. He's going to be the big guy, which is great, all of that. But now he's got to face a team that he's faced a million times. And the expectation is high that he's gonna mow these guys down. It looks like he does. 71 at bats against him from Cleveland. They only got 14 hits. That's a batting average of 117. But I will say it this way: the kids haven't faced him that much. Of those 71 at bats, 41 of them are Jose Ramirez, and Jose Ramirez has 10 of the 14 hits. he's got 5 of the 6 extra base hits. He's got 4 doubles and a triple against them. So I would say that I would say he's in pretty good shape tonight against that team.
Yeah, I would be looking minus a half run first 5 there, even though it's a low under over full game, which it opened at 8.5 is now 7.5. So that again, this could land in that tie spot, which if you're minus a half run, you're going to lose. But in the same token, if you're in the money line spot, let's say he's minus 150, 55, and they lose outright.
Well, if it helps any, Plesac's no good.
I know
the pitcher for Cleveland, he's no good.
So that really stuck out to me. The Houston Seattle. I know your love affair for Odorizzi and Gonzalez, and it's kind of comical. But the Houston bats got us good the other day. Seattle's playing okay. I was wondering if the Houston bats wake up. Kind of surprised the under over is 8. And again, the unders, as Scott mentioned this when we started last week, and he thought that the pitching would be ahead of the hitting for the first 7 to 10, maybe 2 weeks. And that's why a lot of unders are coming in. So I was curious there. And let me just close with this, Scott. What is your take on school? I know you like Scooble. But my question to you is, we were talking about Mize yesterday, 2-2 after 5, 4-2 final Detroit. Keller in a spot for a bounce back here versus Scooble?
I think Scooble's in more of a bounce back spot right now than Keller. Scooble got rocked his first time out there. I think he's going to pitch well today. And again, these are teams that have faced each other. Scooble's a good pitcher, left-handed, good pitcher. And what surprises me about Kansas City is that if you really look at their lineup and you look at who plays the positions that they have, they're a solid team. Are they a great team? No. Do they have dynamic players? Maybe. They got one who's probably going to be. But for whatever the reason is, the team just isn't very good. I mean, you've got a great all-star catcher. You got Santana at first base, he's a little better than serviceable, right? I mean, he can hit 20 to 30 home runs. You got Bobby Witt Jr. now at third base. These are guys that are not just serviceable, they're decent young talent. And maybe that's the issue with these guys is they're decent young talent. And they don't have those veteran guys to kind of pull them through. There's something wrong with this team that they don't win enough. I like Detroit tonight against Kansas City. What I don't like is Keller's a ground ball guy. And if he's on, I don't think that Detroit has the discipline to have the at-bats that are necessary to beat a ground ball pitcher. So as much as I like Scooble, I decided I was going to pass on this game. My number on this game is Kansas City minus 102, and I think you can get Scooble at plus 120. So that's some pretty decent value the way I see it. And I get it. Some people might be like, okay, look, I'm going to play Kansas City today at home. Kansas City hasn't been winning. They're due to win. I don't look at them that way. I mean, they're losing. Bet against them because they're going to keep losing for a little while. Although I will tell you this, winning streaks last longer than losing streaks.
So any questions, comments, concerns, complaints? I saw that our show was retweeted yesterday, and I thank the person that retweeted it, and I hope that we are doing well for this person. We're here to educate with a little entertainment. They are any thoughts that I say are my thoughts, period, end of discussion. If anyone ever has a problem, complaint, or thinks I'm out in left field, please call to ask me a question. And the same with you. I mean, this is something that you and I cherish. This is something that we bust our ass 24/7, 365. The people on the Discord channel see it. Here, yesterday, myself and you, We put out 3 live shows, okay? That and you saw almost an hour on each show of full content live, okay? And that doesn't see the half hour before the show, the half hour after the show, and all the stuff that we do behind the scenes. This doesn't even equate to what we do the night before or the morning while everyone's sleeping and we're already crunching numbers or whatever, asking each other questions. So we're live, not Memorex, guys. And there's no producer editing, there's no scripts. This is, we feed off of each other and we feed off of your questions, your comments. So if anyone has them, don't be shy. We're here. We're not going anywhere. These beautiful faces here, no hair, gray hair, whatever hair, scrubby looking, whatever it is, we're not going anywhere. And we enjoy what we're doing, and we're not going to, back down from anything. So with that being said, it's that time of the day, sir. And we do not have any Webbies.
No, I decided, I was like, you know what? I was trying to be cute, Jeff. And I wanted to do words of wisdom today that were sort of tied into the Easter weekend and stuff. So I was trying to figure out how to do all that stuff. And then I was like, holy shit, I ran out of time. I got a show to do. So I didn't get it done. So no words of wisdom for that today. So we'll come up with some for tomorrow. Well, no, we won't, because we'll be doing a daytime show tomorrow.
I'm going to close with this. Something new. Here we go. Nope, I didn't want that. I told you, I need a producer, guys. Let's try this again. Ready? All right, guys, we talked at length. Scott and myself went through the board. We give out lanes. Scotty gives out plays that he has already played, and I talk about plays that I have played. And also, we have a VIP service which gets these plays directly sent to their cell and their email. Currently on the Discord channel for $2 a day and $59.99 a month every 30 days. You can also receive these plays and a link to our Discord channel. But with that said, I don't think it's fair to give out any of the plays that these guys are playing, but on occasion we might just slip one in. So rotation number 511, 512, a 10:05 tip-off. The LA Clippers currently +1 at South Point, DraftKings, and Caesars. You might even get one in. That is the ECSI free play of the day on Good Friday. Again, I don't give out a lot of free plays. Why? Because if we win, we were supposed to win. Okay. If we lose, then we get all the hate mail in the world because you guys know bleep. And as our friend Dave Sharapan would say, nobody knows shit. Okay. So that is my free play. Put it in your Easter basket. Put a little, Cadbury egg money on it. Put a pizza and beer money, quarter unit, half unit, whatever. I'm playing it. Rotation number 512, LA Clippers +1, 10:05 start. And that is the ECSI free play of the day. Closing thoughts, Scott.
It's it's a nice weekend, Jeff, and I think that some of these matchups are pretty fun in Major League Baseball. And I was thinking, about one of the things that came up in with words of wisdom, which was all about actions and stuff, and I just can't get it out of my head how important two things have been. One, and I've been trying to do this a little bit since I talked about it because I thought it was important. One is act first, be first. Get the mirrored reciprocation that you're looking for out of people. So I've been testing that all over the place. I wave to people as they go in their car and I whatever, and they wave back, and I'm like, yeah, see, goddamn thing works. So I've been trying to do this stuff all the time. And the second thing is, and this is this is I think the most critical thing that I could ever say is life is about actions and taking actions and doing things, being involved. And you know how many people just sit on their ass and they just watch life go by. Um, I'd almost tell you 75 to 80% of the people do that. You need to get involved in anything and everything that's associated to what you want to do with your life. It's your life. Get involved and get active and get busy in your life. Use the tools and the things that you have to stay that way. You know, if you want to learn about this business, if you want to learn about sports, if you get involved, do it doesn't have to be with us. It can be with anybody. But of course, obviously, we're trying to get you to be involved in us. But I mean, it's the same thing. Get involved. Get off your ass. Understand that if you want to win in life, you've got to move your feet. You're not going to win standing still. It's not going to happen. So I think when I sit here and think about stuff, and it just always goes back to those kinds of things. It's just here I am. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm going. I make my choices, and that puts me where I need to be. And if you have that kind of control over what you're doing, guess where you're going to end up? All you need is a purpose. You need a purpose to follow. So anyway, sort of half-assed words of wisdom there, but I mean that's something that I've been thinking about for, ever since we talked about them on the words of wisdom a couple of days ago.
It's Easter weekend again. Happy Good Friday to all. It's a big family holiday for some people. In the restaurant world, they got to go out and work. So for the kids, the Easter egg hunts or whatever you may be doing on Sunday, I like to say always get out of your comfort zone. Try to put a smile on someone else's face for once. And it's better to give than receive. I always say this. Once I had my two children. It's not about me anymore. It's about them. And I try to spread that message where all the dads out here and the moms, they understand what I'm trying to say. But it's not easy also for some people in life that have, might be single, might be alone, might be divorced, whatever the case is. It's not always puppies, cupcakes and unicorns.
Cupcakes.
Yes. I like to say, especially in these lanes, someday we're the dog, a lot of times we're the fire hydrant. And closing, I'd like to say this, every day when I wake up in the morning and my feet hit the ground, that means I got a chance. I got 24 hours to make a difference. And as Scott was talking about opportunity knocking, that's what it is. It's a chance. It's a new day. It's a new beginning. Yesterday's history. Tomorrow's a mystery. Today's a gift. That's why they call it the present. And that's what we do here is we keep it in the day. And every day is a new day for us. So for myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, from Scotty Webb at Webby20 MLB, we wish everyone a blessed day. Enjoy yourselves. Have some fun. Cash some tickets. Okay? But if you do have a problem, please pick up that phone. There's an 800 number available. Ask for help. Why? I care. Scotty cares. We want to see you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, through 2022 and beyond. Everyone, have some fun today. Enjoy the weekend. It's here. And we'll see you sometime early tomorrow morning.